Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Say Park. I'm one of the new hosts here at ZHIYUN-TECH's YouTube channel. Thank you so much for having me here. It's an honor. We're gonna be talking about many filmmaking topics over here every month, but today we're gonna be talking about 3 camera movements you can do when you're filming by yourself. Have you ever filmed yourself and thought, man, I wish I had a little more pop to it or a little movement to it? I know we've been filming ourselves a lot past 1 year, but I've been doing this for a while and it's always been a challenge. I would go to a different city. I would even bring like a little slider with me and try to create a movement. Yeah, it's been tough. But today we're gonna solve all that by using a gimbal and a little bit of technology, and this can be applied to A rolls or B rolls. And I'm gonna have to walk the talk because I'm literally filming myself, showing you guys how to film yourself. So let's go. So the first camera movement is the whip pan selfie, which is basically a whip pan transition with a selfie in it. What is a whip pan transition? You've seen this guy? So if you stitch the first clip of panning away from the subject and the second clip of panning into a subject, you got yourself a whip pan transition, except you try to do it yourself, it's a little bit more difficult. So here's how I'm pulling it off. The gimbal setup I have is Crane 2S and the camera is Sony a7S III. Now you don't have to have the exact same setup. As long as your gimbal supports a phone app, this should work just fine. And what I'm essentially doing is connecting via phone app. I'm gonna open ZY Play app, connect to the gimbal, and I'm gonna open sync motion. Now we're not gonna use the sync motion as is intended to, but we're gonna only focus on this reticle icon right here. That icon basically brings the gimbal to the center position. So what I'm gonna do right now is move the gimbal this way. So let's go ahead and do that. And when I hit that targeting reticle, bam, it goes to the center. Now you want to be in manual focus if you can help it. If you have a pretty good autofocus system, you can pull it off. So as you may have guessed it, that was the second part of the clip. The first clip obviously is starting this way, but the center of the gimbal is that way. So put them together, you got yourself a whip pan selfie. All right, for this next camera move, we're gonna take a little walk. So the second camera movement is called the foreground transition. It's very similar to the whip pan selfie, except I'm using a foreground such as this tree right here. As long as the first clip contains a similar color as the second clip, such as this one, yeah, it blends right in. It's very similar to like mass transition, but that one's a lot more work because you do have to cut out a piece in the first clip and then like keyframe it all the way to the second clip. So this one's a little bit more simpler. To do this, I did attach an image transmitter here. Now you don't have to use this. It does allow me to like frame myself a little bit better when I'm doing the move. And I'm also using a phone app for this. And the feature I'm utilizing is the motion time lapse. So to get to that, you hit the little camera icon right there. So we're dealing only with pan motion on this. So you pan all the way. So you clear the tree first. So that's your point A. And then you move out all the way to your end point, and that's your point B. All you gotta do is set the time interval to video, and you know, duration is like 6 to 7 seconds. So it does allow you to walk all the way through, and that's it. So if you do that twice for the first clip and the second clip, you'll have a nice transition such as this one. And my goodness, I picked the wrong location, guys. I'm getting bitten up. Okay, just letting you know why I'm like, oh, itchy and stuff. That's what's going on right now. All right, before I get eaten up, let's go over the third camera movement.
What? Already?
I know, when you're having fun, time flies. What can I say? All right, so this last camera movement is called the Dolly Zoom selfie. So Dolly Zoom is pretty easy to pull off when you're filming someone else, but to film yourself, that's like the next level, right? So what I have here is a gimbal on top of a monopod, and you might be thinking like, okay, I see where you're going with this, but hear me out. I would almost consider this as a hack because this function wasn't really meant for that, but what I have here is ZHIYUN-TECH's latest servo motor, and this one has a calibrate button. Yes, you could technically control this dial with your thumb as you're pulling monopod closer, but that's not gonna give you the smoothest dolly zoom. So what I do is press down this calibrate button, and what that does is it finds the beginning point and the end point of the zoom ring. So as the zoom lens zooms out, I'm just pulling that monopod close to my face. I guess the only recommendation I have over this is that this is 24 to 70 millimeter, which was a little bit too tight for my arm length to pull it closer. So I would recommend maybe 16 to 35 millimeter. I think that'll be better. All right, guys, I hope you get to use one of those techniques in your next film. Let me know in the comments below which was your favorite. I hope to see you guys next month. Till next time, stay stable.